There are YouTubers in the finance space that are straight out scam artists, right? They simply just try to get your money. They give very, very bad advice. But then there are also the well-intentioned finance YouTubers. Now, even though following the advice by the right tutor might make sense, very often the content is dumbed down to a degree that in the end the fundamentals don't get properly understood. And I think the following video is an example of that. This short by Mark Tilbury is problematic because it dumps down things that much that then the viewer that watches this questions everything that's being said. We're going to watch the short. We're also going to look at the comments that are justified. So let's have a look.
If you spend $5 on your morning coffee on the way to work, $15 on a nice lunch from the food truck, $4 on overpriced transport, $2 on a sweet treat, and $1.40 on unwanted subscriptions, then that's the same as spending $10,000 every single year. Instead, you could brew your coffee at home for 50 cents, travel more economically for half the price, make a packed lunch for $4.50, go without the sweet treat, and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, which will save you $7,810 every year. Then if you invest that money in a low-cost index fund with an average return of 8% per year, in 30 years, you'd have over $1 million.
Now, the overall message is clear, right? Try to be as frugal as possible, invest this long-term into, say, index funds, and then in the end, when you're 60, you can retire with a nice nest egg. It's very nicely shown in this short, but things are only partially true. Why do we want all that money, right? Why do we want to be a millionaire? It's, of course, in order to spend a lot. So we want to have the spending power. We don't just want to have all the money laying around and then die with us. What really matters for long-term wealth is simply the delta between spending and income. And I always try to just increase my income because in theory, there is no ceiling for the income. There is a ceiling though for how much we can save, and life becomes miserable as we save more and more and more, right? It's way easier to work 1 or 2 hours more on a side hustle and do the spending than not doing the spending and working less. But that's actually not the main critique I have for this video. It's not even the things that I mentioned in the comments. Let's have a look at those comments. So check this out. This got 10,000 comments. $4 on any transport sounds like a steal. That's of course besides the point of this video, but interestingly enough, it did get most likes. Another comment on the taxi. Then the third comment has a bit more substance. Most young people these days aren't struggling financially because of overindulgence. They're struggling because their salary is barely enough to pay rent for a 1-bedroom apartment. This is very, very true. I made an analysis on this in prior videos. When we look at different income brackets, the incomes over...
To get the full length video, feel free to simply subscribe over here. Then you get it recommended by the algorithm.